Hello, guys. Welcome here to SCN Sports Talk, the show where our dates will run 500 yards away from us, just like Patrick Mahomes ran as his offensive line did not help him throughout the game. Just FYI, just so we don't get any reports, I suppose I should indicate that it's just a joke. Obviously, we don't have dates.
Nope, not this
But
time.
we've got each other and we family, okay? We
Yes,
family.
we fam. We fam. We're
No
bros
homo.
from a
No homo, but we family here, okay?
yeah.
Then we just got the outcast cousin Zach Carmian somewhere. We don't know where.
Somewhere in a
I'm gonna
faraway
get
land.
I'm gonna get reprimanded. On that note,
Um,
oh boy.
so yeah, speaking of the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
now
let's wrap this up real quick with the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, so I guess I'll do the spark notes real quick. Bucks won. Brady got drunk. Brady almost sunk the Super Bowl trophy. That's the
and Antonio Brown has won his first ring. That's also something that we
What a
can
clown. What
yeah,
a clown.
what a freaking load of shit if
But
I ever had to say it because
yeah,
you know I guess I'll just be very blunt and quick with this. You basically crybaby your way out of Pittsburgh. You freaking go to what? Oakland, or not Oakland, but Las Vegas. Or no, I think last year was Oakland. This year is Las Vegas. But
yeah, it was
you were with the Raiders, then you went to the Pats, then you found your way out, then you go back and reunite with Tom Brady. Somehow play most of the freaking year. Yeah, you had some injuries, but now you got a ring. So if you're Big Ben, do you think that you get a little pissed off? Like, how come you couldn't have this with us
I think
and
you get
actually?
mad at Vontez Burfict for ruining that guy. But no,
Probably.
on a serious note, no, I don't think you get upset because those receivers in Pittsburgh are complete divas. So, I mean, I don't think you get upset. But I guess the big question here is: did the Bucks find a way to beat Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the league to use? Did they just give the rest of the league a blueprint?
Yeah, they definitely did. And the blueprint is to have two high safeties and double team the two top targets for Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, and he just had surgery too. But again, I've said it. I said it on Sunday. I'm gonna say it now. No excuses, Chiefs fans. If he's one of the greatest, he'd overcome all those issues. And you can blame the penalties. There were three that were really no, they shouldn't have been called. But the rest were, I'm sorry, but the rest I saw, and they were penalties. Um, but you guys can disagree, but no more defending him is my opinion. He is not one of the greatest. So drop it to the sports media. Drop it. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans. You know what? I'm going to keep kicking you while you're down. And while you're down, I'm also going to, while I'm kicking you with one foot, I'm going to kick sand into your eyes with the other one. That's kind of the
There we
mentality I
go.
have right now. Because you want to know what? As a Chargers fan, I'm sick and tired of hearing about your boy Patty Mahomes. But as the podcaster, I'm sorry. You know what? This was a long time coming. And it
Right.
proves that he's not one of the greatest.
No. And it's probably going to be some time before he actually gets to that level.
Yeah.
Um, well, we were also we were also discussing the whole, the piece to the face type
Oh
of
yeah. As close
taunt.
as it is to my camera, that's what our buddy, our friend Antoine Winfield did. Got himself in a little bit of trouble in the game. Um,
But honestly, I think it was worth 15 yards. Yeah,
it was worth
yeah.
it.
You can say what you want. Oh, they're up 22 points. You should have done it. But
He did it to him earlier in the
Tyreek
year.
Tyreek Hill did it to him earlier in the year. It was only right. it was only fitting that he did the same damn thing to him when he's basically.
But you know what? The league should have penalized Tyreek for that too, and they also should have penalized Tyreek for the backflips in the end zone as well, because that's a safety issue. Number one, and number two, if you're gonna enforce taunting, I'm sorry, but doing this, I don't care how far back he is when he does this. This is still taunting in my eyes. And if someone did that to me, if someone taunted me on the sidelines as a coach or taunted one of my players, I wouldn't care if I'm up 20 points. I'm pressing the living shit out of them the rest of the game.
I look at it this way: if it was any other team, it would probably have been a penalty. But since it was the Chiefs or the Bucks, of course.
Yeah, but if they did it to my teams, I would run them out of the gym. I would not have any remorse for it. And I'm a coach. I love sportsmanship, and I want to be that teacher. But I'm sorry, you push me to that brink, I'm gonna do it to you. That's when
Right.
if you're not gonna do the same for me, if I'm gonna show you sportsmanship and you're gonna taunt me and basically be bad sports, then I'm gonna stoop to your level. I'm sorry, and I will not show remorse for it. So
Right.
that's what the Bucks did, and I'm sorry, it was well deserved. They flat out ran him out of the stadium. So.
And the cool thing about them celebrating is they didn't have to go very far.
And he cut out, but.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
can you repeat that again?
Yeah, what I was saying is, even with the celebration, they didn't have to go very far or wait very long to do it.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
clearly didn't.
maybe
Brady wasted no time getting drunk.
getting drunk. I know.
You know what though? I love it. I'm sorry. I love it.
It's funny as hell because all you see him is getting ready to launch a Lombardi trophy, and then his daughter's like, "Dad, no!"
We got
you
6
said
more
what?
of these. We got
Yeah.
6 more.
Well, he got 6 more. The team doesn't have 6 more. They only have 1 more.
Yeah. That's all
Now,
right.
if it's the Pats, we lose 1. We got 5
Yeah.
more. Bucks is like, no, no, we only have 1 of those. We only have 1 more of those. You lose that. There's no one trying to get that back.
Then
And
he's like,
the only problem.
he's sitting there, hey, could you guys let me borrow the other Lombardi trophy? I promise you I'll complete this pass. No!
Well, I could have. Thank God it was Cameron Brate because I don't know if Tom Brady can trust Gronk. The last time Gronk held a Lombardi trophy, he freaking damn near he dented a damn thing.
Yeah. What is with Gronk and Brady and destruction of Super Bowl trophies? I guess name a better duo. Or better trio.
Yeah, I guess so.
But,
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
but that's
I'm
all
sorry.
we got to
You know what,
say
though?
about that.
Showing up drunk on a boat is something I would expect from Gronk, not from Brady. But I'm telling you, I loved it that he finally let his hair down and he just did what he wanted to do.
Look at it this way: he's 43 years old. He's chips. At least he gets to have. It's Florida.
Yeah, some
Florida's
fun.
freaking nice as hell in the winter time. So why not have a little fun?
Yeah. So you cut out when you said some fun, so that's why I said some fun there. But
Oh,
yeah, I knew what you were
Sorry.
saying, and I knew what you were going for. But let's move forward here. Derrick Rose, is this his 3rd reunion with Tom Thibodeau?
yes, it is. He had with Chicago, then Minnesota, and now the third time with New York. He's had a very roller coaster type of career, going from
Well, since
playing
the
for his
injury.
hometown. Well, playing for Well, the problem with him is, he probably very well could have been compared to, we might have our next, I don't know, Jordan-like player. So, fortunately, he's definitely not going to be like that. But
Yeah.
Chicago, he gave Chicago fans hope in the sense that, hey, we might have another All-Star hands,
Yeah.
and we might have it in Derrick Rose, the hometown hero. And he played the part, but unfortunately, like a lot of players, he got hurt towards ACL. Just never was the same caliber all-star player like he once was. Then he
Hmm.
sees his way out of Chicago, goes to, I think he was out of the league for a little bit, went to Detroit, or went to Minnesota, rejoined up with Tom Thibodeau with Jimmy Butler.
Thibodeau.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
Tom
sorry, I had to make fun of you
Thibodeau.
there.
Sorry. He was playing up again with, I think Jimmy Butler was in Minnesota, a bunch of other guys that were there, Andrew Wiggins, and they made the playoffs. They actually were a pretty good Minnesota team when they had him. Then Tom Thibodeau gets fired. He gets traded or gets sent to Detroit.
It,
Detroit wasn't a bad team with him and Blake Griffin there. And then now just gets traded to New York. And New York has needed a lot of
see,
needed a lot of help for a lot of years since 2012
well,
when
that
they
big three debacle there, that wasn't even a big three. It was when one of them went out. I mean, Lynn Sanity is basically the man that saved him there.
yeah, but you can't even
Herbo.
really say that he was the main factor why they were good. Um,
Yeah.
well, the problem is New York has went from, oh, well, we have Linsanity, then we have Carmelo joining us, then we have Amari Stoudemire, um, then they get KP, boom, out of the damn draft, um, basically out of that draft year, comes in,
Hmm.
becomes a hero, and everybody's like, oh man, he's averaging 15 points a game, and we can't really boo him anymore. This guy might be just the next great thing. Then KP gets hurt, and he wants out, goes to Dallas. Yeah, you can probably say that he's revitalized his career in Dallas, but as we know with a lot of these, great players, once you get hurt, it's kind of hard to get back to where you were. And Derrick Rose, I'm glad that he found himself again in Detroit,
See,
and I think that he's really going to bring an edge back to New York basketball.
and
I
I'm
won't say
glad
that
he
they
didn't turn out
probably
like Greg Oden. I'm glad he didn't turn out like him once the knee injuries really started plaguing him.
right. And unfortunately, Greg Oden was even a great player, but just never found to not get hurt so many times. And I think Tom Thibodeau and Derrick Rose being together again for the third time might bode well in the sense that you might
Third
see the
time's the
Knicks
charm.
yeah, but you can't really say it's going to happen. If you do say, yeah, third, but fortunately, the Knicks just don't have that kind of team to even get anywhere past maybe the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the East is so unpredictable anyway, so I wouldn't rule out that possibility. Um, but it is the Knicks, though, and they usually have a history of not faring too well. So we'll see. But I think Derrick Rose is a good point guard, and we'll see what happens with them. Then the other big NBA news is that the All Star game is going to be played despite COVID issues. Should they? Shouldn't they? I mean,
Definitely shouldn't because I just don't think the players' hearts have been in the All Star game even before COVID was a thing. It's just not the same game. It's the same thing with the Pro Bowl. It's just ultimately a game that,
well, the Pro Bowl's been a joke for the last, like, forever. Just about.
and the problem is, Brian, when they play the All Star game, even the way that they had it last year, where, oh, whoever wins the first quarter, you get a point, and ultimately together we just add up all those points and whoever wins the fourth quarter wins the game. Like, I don't know if I like that format, and they
See,
just
it's compensating for how stacked the West is in talent. That's what it is. Because look at the
yeah.
East. Name, other than Giannis, Tyler Harrow's up and comer. But other than those two, who who was out there that from the East side that could possibly compete with Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or not? Well, Kevin Durant's on the East side too
Well,
now.
I was just about to say Kevin Durant,
But I mean,
Kyrie Irving, James Harden can all compete
yeah,
with them.
but now Luka Doncic is on the West, or Luka Donkey, as I like to nickname him sometimes. Sorry, Jason. But yeah,
Hey, that's
I'm
all
just
right.
saying the West is so stacked. Come on, like it's not even fair. That's why they had to do Team LeBron versus Team KD. That's why they had to
Mhm.
do that. That's why they had to steal the basketball tournament's Elam ending. Come on, like it's they just can't find any way to be creative. And it's the same thing with the NFL. They're just doing everything they can to save it. And in COVID, you shouldn't be playing it anyway because now you're just creating the possibility of more cases because you got players who aren't around each other on a normal basis
Yeah,
having to work together. I'm saying scrap it for a year, come back next year,
I think
and
they
see what
should just
happens.
scrap it in general. I think the only they really should do with the All Star game is like the dunk contest, the 3-point
No, no.
contest.
You want to know how,
Maybe,
maybe a 3-on-3 tournament. How's about that?
yeah, but that's still a big risk with that. Like,
No, I mean when
are you
COVID's
talking about?
over. I'm talking when COVID's over. 3-on-3 tournament. Or better yet, do what the NBA does. Or not the NBA. Do what the MLB does. And say you get home field advantage if you win the thing. But the problem is the West is so stacked it wouldn't even be fair. The West would have home field advantage for the entire finals. So,
True.
I mean, that's another idea to throw out there. But I don't know. At the same time, though, if I have the best record in the league, I don't think I want to lose home field advantage just because of an all-star game. But you
Right.
gotta add some incentive to it, and that's the problem these leagues are facing. They think it's good ratings, because it's all stars on one team. You want to see all
Right.
stars on one team? Why don't we go watch the Olympics? How's about that? We'll watch the
Exactly.
Olympics because then at least you're fighting for something meaningful. The only
Like a
thing you're
gold medal.
the only thing you're fighting for is bragging rights in an all-star game. That's
Yeah, why I might actually add to that. Maybe if, say, like the winning team of the All Star game gets like, I don't know, like if you win this game, you get like, I don't know, a $50,000 bonus or something like that.
I know it's what the NFL did with the Pro Bowl. They added a slight bonus to the winner.
See, if
So
they did something like that, I feel like players would actually ultimately be like, "Ooh, cool! We all get $50,000 bonuses."
I don't
Shoot.
know if they'd jump for 50,000. Just say like $500,000 bonus or something, or $1 million bonus.
Well, probably
But
500,000 would make a lot more sense. A
still,
mil, but if they made it a little bit more meaningful in the
see,
sense that they actually gave out like I don't know a trophy
yeah,
or money
yeah.
like
And you know what? And the other thing is, not only should the All Star game not be played this year, too, the Senior Bowl probably shouldn't have been played this year.
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
That's even more of a bigger risk right there too.
Granted, some of these players are going to be on the same team eventually, but it's
Yeah.
it's still too high of a risk. You know, I'm not trying to get political, but it's just too high of a risk right now. I mean, we can't be having this. So, um,
No, and I think it's time to take our anchor break.
I think we're getting there. Yeah, so before we do, I just want to remind you guys we had a Daytona 500 special last night. It was at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check it out. It's on our YouTube page. You'll get to hear our picks and everything else we discussed leading up to the NASCAR season, which actually kicks off in just a few hours on Fox. So you won't want to miss that if you're a NASCAR fan. So just want to throw that out there. And then when we come back from our anchor break, a new team, a big team in college basketball is now unranked. How did they respond? Man, college basketball is so unpredictable right now. The NFL...
Sounds like it.
Yeah, we got some NFL free agency updates. And one state is allowing sports fans to return to the stands. Hint, hint. Actually, no hints. You'll find out in just a moment here after our anchor break here on this week's edition of SCN Sports Talk. All right, welcome back to SCN Sports Talk, where we don't get drunk and do crazy shit on boats. Frankly, none of us own a boat. So,
or we don't go as crazy as a banana boat with Dwayne Wade and James.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember those times.
It's also, oh my gosh. And it's also not the it's also the podcast where we give you all of our love for Valentine's Day.
But you better return it back.
But you didn't return it back. And you put us in the friend zone on that. Good acting job, right? Are we good actors? Are we really good actors? I don't think so, but...
No, I don't think so. We're just like those Hallmark actors. No, I'm just kidding. I can't say that. They do a very good job.
But all right. On that note, let's move forward here. So, Duke, UNC, UCLA, and Kentucky, all unranked for the first time since the 60s. But there's now one team that's joining them, and this team has not been unranked since 2009, and it's the University of Kansas Jayhawks. Can you believe it? Can you absolutely believe it?
No, I cannot believe it because if I remember correctly, I'm not a big NCAA fan, but I know enough to know that all those teams are usually the top schools, and yes, you're right, they do produce the best talent that goes into the NBA and does very well, but unfortunately, I guess the times are turning, and
it's not about the one and done schools anymore.
No, it's not.
That's what I call Duke, UNC, Kentucky, and Kansas. Not so much UNC, but Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas. We can all agree here, it's a one and done school. When you go there,
for sure.
When you go there, you're just going there because you couldn't get into the NBA due to the NBA rules. So,
yeah,
it's just a buffer year.
Right, and I mean, the prime example of that is Zion Williams.
Yeah, Zion, Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, there's definitely more, but it's just crazy, honestly. And you know what's funny is we just don't know who's going to be ranked. We don't know, Gonzaga's up top, which is usual, but they're in a weak conference.
Right.
We had Iowa up there for a few weeks. We got Baylor up there right now. There's names you don't normally see at the top of the college basketball world joining Gonzaga right now.
No, and a lot of those names sound like, names you would probably be hearing more for college football more than college basketball, because anything about Baylor, Gonzaga's got a great basketball program. And probably you can say the same thing about their football program. But, like I said, the times are turning, Brian, and, unfortunately, not every school that we always think that are going to be great are going to be always great. And, a lot of these, teams want to go after these guys, and a lot of these top teams can't always force players to come to their programs. So maybe these programs just ultimately did better scouting.
So actually, let me read off the top 25 here. And I'll stop. I know you don't watch college basketball, so I won't ask you to stop me. Well, actually, I will if you hear something surprising, but I'll tell you if I find it surprising here. Number 1, Gonzaga, not surprising. They're 18-0. Number 2, Baylor, 17-0, not surprising. University of Michigan, number 3, that's Juwan Howard's team. Juwan Howard is the coach there. Maybe a little bit surprising.
That's a little shocking because Michigan's known for their football program
but
and their
they're
basketball
known for their
program.
basketball. They're known for basketball.
No, more Michigan. No, you're thinking about Michigan State.
No,
Michigan
but Michigan is low key known for basketball. They're usually they have a few off years, but they're usually known for being somewhere within the top 25, usually the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, you can continue.
Yeah, somewhat shocking. And again, I remind you, Juwan Howard, the former Heat player, the former Pacers player, he is the coach over there.
Really?
Didn't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
So, number 4, the Ohio State University. Not shocking. They're usually good in basketball and football.
Shocking. That's not shocking at all.
It's the. It's the.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Capital T, H, and E.
Yeah. It sounds like there's 2 E's, but it's one. They're just fancy and say the. All right, number 5, Villanova. Absolutely not surprising.
Yeah,
they're
that's
always
not
number 1 in here. Number 6, Illinois.
A little bit.
A little bit. They're not necessarily known for being a top school, but they're up there. Number 7, Texas Tech. Keep in mind, Bobby Knight was the coach of this program years ago. So this program does have some familiarity with being in the rankings. Number 8, Houston. I don't know what they're doing over there. I really didn't hear of them until last year. But I guess it's not surprising seeing that last year they were ranked.
No, I think Houston, if I know anything about that program, they're more used to their basketball than football. Yes, Ed Oliver came from the University of Houston. I don't know if you knew about that as a football player. But
hey, we're learning a lot right now.
But yeah, I mean, I got a decent program.
Okay. Yeah. And number 9, Virginia, Tony Bennett's the coach over there. And no, not the singer. By the way, thoughts and prayers for the singer Tony Bennett. He was just diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. If you've ever heard Tony Bennett, I know he's not your kind of music, but he's got a hell of a voice. But Coach Tony Bennett, no surprise he's ranked. He is the last March Madness winner, mind you.
You said Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Virginia Cavaliers.
No, that doesn't shock me. Virginia is always up there.
Now I forget, Missouri, it might be a Buzz Johnson school. I could be wrong. And actually I'll look that up too, but that's a little bit shocking. Sorry, it's taking me a little longer with my phone the way it is. So I got a new phone, so bear with me.
No, I think Missouri is usually there too, if I remember correctly. You know, to be so high up might be a little shocking.
Buzz Williams, that's who I'm thinking of. And you'll hear his name in just a few moments here, I'm sure. But number 11 is Alabama. That's shocking.
Alabama, really?
Alabama Crimson Tide are ranked number 11 on the college basketball. College basketball, not football.
No, because if it was football, they would be ultimate. What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Number 12, Oklahoma. A little shocking. They're more known for the football.
Yeah, but they also got a great basketball program. Oklahoma also produced Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, that's well in the past, though. This isn't, modern day. They haven't been that good in the recent years. So, Texas number 13. That's
That's
shocking because Texas Longhorns, they haven't been that relevant in recent years. So,
right.
um, West Virginia at number 14, I'm not shocked because they've always had a team that's been up there contending.
Yeah.
Um, Number 15, Iowa. They were a top 3 team in the country, and I think they got blown out of the water a few games.
Yeah.
That's still shocking that they're up there. They're known for their weight training programs, which is why their offensive line is so recruitable there because they just know how to do bodybuilding over there. They're so good at that.
True. I mean, if you
Shoot,
if you
shoot.
worked at
Did you ever see
uh,
their basketball games turn into a hockey match?
now you have.
No. I wonder. I wonder. All right. Here we go. The Peyton Manning School is number 16. The University of Tennessee. Really, they're known
Now,
for their women's college
yeah, I
basketball
was just
program.
about to say I'm quite shocked about that one because you're right. I mean,
Pat
we all
Summitt.
know about yes, we all know about her, and she was a great coach.
Yeah. So then, of course, number 17, Florida State. I'm not shocked. They're always at the top of the ACC, and they probably will win
No.
the ACC tournament.
Yeah, most likely.
Um, Number 18, Virginia Tech, the Michael Vick School. I'm somewhat surprised. They're usually right up there in the ACC as well. Number 19, Creighton. Kind of surprised about this one. I don't know much about Creighton,
They're
but
a very, if anything, you would think that they're usually well, that's
they're
probably
not a
unranked.
well-known school. Let's put it that way. Um, let's see. So then USC is number 20. They really were known for their football program, not so much the basketball program. But I'll tell you why I remember them is because they tried to steal Mike Hopkins away from Syracuse, who is now the coach at the University of Washington. We won't tell you how that stint's going. Let's just say it's a dumpster fire over there. Number 21 is Wisconsin. No surprise, they're always near the top of the list. Kind of
Right.
surprising they're this low. Jason, you may remember this one from a few years ago. Number 22, Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean.
Oh man,
But
yeah, I remember them when they got as far as the turn. Yes,
but here's my big what the fuck moment. They're 0-0. I don't think they played a game this entire year.
but yet they're ranked. You said 23rd.
Yeah. They're ranked 23rd. Let me check. The Loyola Ramblers, and I'm going to tell you something. I was rooting for them in that tournament. I was so disappointed. Okay, so they have played games this year. I don't know why it says 0-0 on here. They're 12-1 in their conference. They're 17-3 overall in the
So maybe
America East Conference, the
yeah, but when
AAC.
you think that hearing that they should be higher than third
And let me
overall.
tell you, mark my words, they will make another run in this tournament. You just
Oh
watch.
yeah, I think so.
If we play this tournament, and I'm telling you, I'm rooting for them. I always love the underdog in the tournament. So I'm telling you, mark them down. They're going to be back in this tournament next year or this year if we have it. But anyway, number 23, Oklahoma State. That's Marcus Smart's old school. Not surprised. They actually had a really good game against Texas the other day. I think it was double overtime I saw there.
Yeah, I think
It was a
so.
very good game. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Number 24, it's Drew Brees' school, Purdue University. Not shocked. Not shocked. They're usually up there. Here's where you might get shocked. Number 25 is Rutgers.
Rutgers, interesting.
An interesting
Usually
pick.
usually more for their football program than basketball. But I guess like like I said, I guess in the world of sports, I'm never shocked anymore because,
Yeah.
like I said, like I've been saying on this episode, and I will say again, I guess we're just turning a new leaf, and teams that you would not expect to be as good are now shining, I
Yeah.
guess.
And mark my words. Okay, here's the thing. We can talk about how the Power 5 schools all produce great programs. We can talk about how highly touted they are. This doesn't matter in the big tournament. And this is what makes March Madness probably the best form of the playoffs anyone has ever seen. Okay, the NBA, you know who's going to win. NCAA, you don't know. There's 268 teams in Division 1. You don't know which ones are better than the Power 5 schools. That's
Right.
what makes this thing so amazing. And it's so fun to watch. And that's why I love that Loyola Chicago run. That's why I love the VCU. VCU actually did get a vote for the top 25. One thing I'm reading through the other teams that just fell short, Duke didn't get a vote for the top 25. Just thought I'd put that out there. They also have a losing record right now. Even more surprising, now here's where I'm going to get excited. Syracuse might have a shot against them. So you're saying
really?
there's a chance?
You think there might be a slim chance that they could actually Duke?
I think there's a slim chance. I don't want to get too confident because you don't know what Syracuse team is going to go into Duke. But we'll see. I have high hopes on that they can compete in that.
Well, now that that's the biggest rivalry in the ACC, yeah,
Yeah. It's not anywhere near the Georgetown and Syracuse rivalry. That'll never match that. And Patrick Ewing's team at Georgetown, by the way. I think I told you that a few weeks ago.
no, I think you've told me that a few years ago.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing is the coach there. But Buzz Williams, by the way, the coach I had mentioned, I thought he was the Missouri coach. He is the Texas A&M coach. I don't know what his record is there. But anyway,
Big difference between
was
teams there.
Buzz Johnson, I think, was the astronaut I was thinking of. Buzz Williams
Yeah,
is the basketball coach.
I was just about to say, I'm pretty sure
I'll
you
let
had it.
myself out the door at the end of
It's
the
all right.
podcast. But anyway, let's move forward here to NFL free agency. Heineke is going to stay with the Washington football team. I had to catch myself again.
Yes, you had to say the.
Washington football team. With any luck, hey, maybe they'll be 14-2 next year with any luck if we keep calling them the Washington football team.
And maybe with any luck, they can the Washington football team.
It's not the anymore. It's the Washington football team.
They can actually have the luck that maybe he can actually bring the same attitude he did last year in the playoffs against Tom Brady for a whole entire year. Now, when you see him signing that kind of contract to return, do you think that gives insight that they have something in the sights of keeping him, if not being a backup or
It's
maybe
a backup's
even start?
contract. I mean, I'd like to see him start, but it's a backup's contract. Let's be honest. I mean, $4 million a year is a backup's salary.
And if it is a backup salary, is their plan to try to bring Alex Smith back
I think
with
that's
starting pay?
I think that should be their top plan. I think they should bring back Alex Smith, and I think what they should do is keep the door open for a quarterback competition. I think they should sign them both to a relatively even deal. Say, look, we're going to have a competition. One of you guys is going to win this job. The other one is going to basically sit on the bench with the clipboard and look like a fool all year.
And hopefully it's not Alex Smith on the sidelines looking like a fool all year.
I don't think it will be.
He's done enough to show that he's still a starter in the NFL. And Taylor Heineke has shown enough that he can actually play in the NFL. So I think you have a good situation at your hands.
I think that's a
The
quarterback's.
Washington football
Yeah,
team. I had to correct
don't
myself
slip.
again.
Okay, the only way
Um,
they lose that title is if they put a name on their team. If you liked it, then you should have put a name on it. But if they do put a name on it, Ron Rivera and Alex Smith leave. That's the way you lose the title of the Washington football team, and you just become the Washington football team. But anyway, let's continue.
Now, I will ultimately say with the pieces that they have right now and with possibly bringing Alex Smith back, who knows? He very well could just say,
He still hasn't made a
this was
decision.
just, he might ultimately just say, hey, this is kind of a one-off. This showed I can still do it, and I think I'm just going to be done. He could very well just say, I retire.
Well, I think
But he's also been out for the last 2 years because of that leg injury. You might think that he might still have some years to make up for those 2 years that he missed back to back. So
yes. Well, I'm telling you, I think what he should do, and I think he should be kind of like Teddy Bridgewater, be a little bit cocky here. Say, hey, I came back, I was nervous, it was the most scary thing I've had to do, but I've proven to myself I can play. Let's go somewhere and let's play next year. We'll give it one more year. If my numbers don't prove that I deserve to be in this league, then hey, I'll step away gladly and enjoy time with my kids because I came back from something I should have never came back from.
no, and his leg was almost damn near amputated, and very well could have, but he's lucky he didn't lose
Yeah,
his leg, and would have ultimately never have been able to come back and play football ever again,
yeah,
let alone have any normal mobility. Yes, they have technology where he could have had I guess, a prosthetic leg and came back and played. So I guess anything is not out of the equation. So if there's a will, there's a way. So
and I agree.
I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is he would have been back in the NFL regardless if, you know, he lost that leg or not.
And if
If
he
what I'm,
retires, name that comeback player of the year award after him.
oh, for
I'm
sure.
sorry.
I agree.
I'm sorry. There will never ever be a comeback greater than his. Name it after him. He deserves that title. It should be every year. The AP Alex Smith Comeback Player of the Year award. That's what it should be named. But
Yeah, please, Goodell, do the right thing and
um,
actually name that award after him.
yeah. And then I put this under free agency, but it is not free agency. Carson Wentz is expected to get dealt. We said it, I think, on our live stream Sunday. He is expected to be dealt. It was in the coming days. It still hasn't materialized. Chicago and Indy are the two front runners to get him. Chicago is willing to offer Tariq Cohen, Big Dick Nick, and a few draft picks to get him. So we could have a third stint in Philly for Big Dick Nick.
See, let me process this a little bit.
I
Just
know, I threw a
hearing
lot at
that,
you.
I know, just hearing that makes you believe that why the hell did you get rid of Big Dick Nick in the first place? You had everything going your way with him. He won you the Super Bowl. And then how do you repay him? Oh, well, let's just bring back the guy that got hurt. Yeah, he had an MVP year,
Hmm.
but you
That is
you,
the
you bring back.
ultimate. That is the ultimate reason you never bench the hot hand. Plain and simple. But I don't know.
And then you
the
win the
Eagles.
Super Bowl with Nick Foles, and then you're like, well, Nick, your contract's expiring in there. Sorry, we back. You ultimately, yes, you won us a Super Bowl and you won those playoff games, but you didn't do anything. You didn't contribute during the regular
We got a
season.
young quarterback. That's what they said. We got a young quarterback, and he's better than you, so we're keeping him around. And I'm sorry, but the Eagles have proven in the last 10 years that they are that toxic ex that keeps begging for you to come back. Andy Reid is a perfect example of that. They keep trying to poach from his coaching staff because they know they fucked up hiring or firing him. They knew they fucked up letting Nick Foles go, so they said, "Let's bring him back on a 2-year deal. He's gonna be our backup." He wins you a Super Bowl, and you're like, fuck it. We can win with Carson Wentz too. Now they realize they can't. They want him back. They can't win without Andy Reid, so they keep trying to bring his coaches in because they can't bring him back.
Right.
Come on.
Well, definitely, ultimately, they're going to, unless he how miraculous canned, and then he comes in as an offensive coordinator or so.
But I'm telling you, they're that crazy ex that you should be putting a restraining order on. Let's be fair.
I agree.
I love the Eagles, and I don't mean this as anything negative toward Eagles fans, because obviously the Eagles are like my NFC team, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all got a problem if you keep trying to bring back old players constantly. If you've made the decision twice, I mean, if I'm Nick Foles, I'd be like, I'm not reporting here. You didn't want me the first 2 times. Why do you want me now?
Yeah, exactly. I guess the only other thing I have to say about the situation with Chicago and Philadelphia, if that's what they're going to give up, that's what Philadelphia wants. They want that Matthew Stafford deal to trade Carson Wentz away.
And he's not worth it.
They very well. I get it. He definitely isn't. He's definitely not worth 2.
He's been like RG3 since he came back from injury. It's either he's getting hurt or he's not performing. I mean,
and that's the problem. I don't know why teams don't see it that way, but ultimately it's the front office decision, not the fans' decision.
And you know what? If I'm Nick Foles, you know you're not coming back to be the starter. You know it's going to be Jalen Hurts, even though Nick Foles' contract is so massive that he should be starting. But
I think if I'm Philadelphia, I would want to go with the hot quarterback that ultimately helped kind of turn our season around in a way. Yeah, you can make the argue, well, maybe if he was starting from the start, we could have had a better chance of making playoffs instead of the Washington football team. But you ultimately don't know if that was going to be the case. Jalen Hurts had to learn under Carson Wentz. Yeah, Carson Wentz is the best quarterback, and he had his flaws all year long. But Jalen Hurts also came from a program who has produced some great quarterbacks in Baker Mayfield, and also my gosh, I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah, Kyler Murray. So you ultimately knew that Jalen Hurts, yes, he also came from Alabama, and you know what we say about these Alabama, about as bad as the Ohio State.
Alabama and Ohio State, they should just be buried, basically, because they can't produce it. I've said, don't even look at them.
But I guess you would have to go after Jalen Hurts, and yeah, if they ultimately do bring in Nick Foles, all I can say is have a QB battle between Jalen Hurts. Yes, I get it. One player is going to have a lot, getting paid more than the other, but how are you going to know what you're going to have with Nick Foles coming back unless he competes with Jalen Hurts? That's even if it happens. So for the situation with the Eagles, I would have to say that the situation with the Colts would probably be the better one. Yeah, you get to reunite with
I
the
think reuniting with
offensive.
Frank Reich would be his best option.
I agree.
Not to mention he'd have T.Y. Hilton, assuming that they don't trade him to get Carson Wentz. You'd have Jack Doyle. You'd have, you'd have Taylor and Hines in the backfield. You'd have that offense is set. They just need a QB. And it's just a matter of can he rejuvenate his career there.
Right.
What were you going to say?
I guess I was also going to add, you don't even T.Y. Hilton, because I guess T.Y. Hilton is going to be looking into free agency to join your team. So you don't even know if you're going to have T.Y. Hilton there. So
could he join LA?
That also dampers. Yeah, that's true.
He should. If he's going to go anywhere, Green Bay should make him an offer. Just saying.
Oh my God.
Need receiver help.
And the thing is, as soon as they got in Randall, Jordy Nelson, they've needed receiver help. Unfortunately, Devontae Adams, yes, he's a great receiver.
They need someone to take the pressure off of them.
Well, it didn't look like that was really hard to do. MVS and Lazard are great players, and they can show up when they want to.
Yeah, but they're not solid number twos. That's the
no, and I think if Devin Funchess, who should still be under contract heading into next season because he ultimately was out and didn't play, so who knows? The Devin Funchess experiment might actually help out Green Bay in the sense that they might actually have a true number two option, but you have to bring in. See, what I think Green Bay should do if Ty is available, bring him in, have Adams and Hilton come there, put MVS in the slot, or maybe Devin Funchess in the slot. Boom, you have then right there. That's already sounding like a better receiver core than they had, for the last 2 years. So, now hearing that, does that kind of damper your plans of if you're Carson Wentz, where you would rather go to? I think for him, you would have to go with Chicago because they seem to have the better options at receiver than Indianapolis.
I'd like to see what Demarcus Robinson likes to do. But at the same time, though, the problem is they're both, to me, Matt Nagy's an okay coach. Matt Nagy's an okay coach. You've got Frank Reich, who's a proven coach, and not to mention he helped Carson Wentz almost become MVP of the league before that ACL tear. So I think I'd rather go to Indy, honestly, because I feel like they can put together a better team than Chicago can.
Right.
But on to the next thing, actually our final topic of the day, considering we don't have football predictions. New York State Andrew Cuomo announced earlier this week that New York State will allow 10% capacity at sporting events. I'm just reading the headline, but I'd assume that testing is going to be mandatory to enter sporting venues or proof of vaccination. I don't exactly know. I don't want to get into the political stuff, but if I can, real quick, I want to point out that cases where Jason and I live are at less than 5% right now, which isn't bad. Still not good, but not bad.
No. That's...
But I guess, first off, what does it mean for teams like currently in season? We got the Buffalo Sabres, the Rochester Americans, the Utica Comets, the Binghamton Devils. I'm sure I'm missing more. The Syracuse Crunch, Syracuse Orange. Oh my God, there's a long list. I'm just reading off the ones that I know off the top of my head. The New York Knicks and the New York Knicks, New York Rangers, New York Islanders. It probably won't mean much for hockey, but what does it mean for them to get fans?
I was just gonna make this kind of quick joke.
All right, let's hear it.
Isn't 10% about isn't 10% capacity about the same amount of fans get for in general?
Your audio cut out again.
Oh, I was gonna say
Your audio didn't. You know what? Your internet didn't like the joke. So your internet loved the joke so much they had to cut you out. But let's.
No, I was gonna say, isn't like 10% capacity about the amount of fans that they get for the Amerks games in general anyway? So
Hey! The Amherst do very well. Come on.
I know. I just have
Come on.
a little
10%
joke
is
out
what
there.
10% is what the LA Chargers get in a game. There's about 10% Chargers fans, 90% other team. Okay, if you're gonna make a joke, let's make it that. But
I guess it just bodes very well. It's an improvement than where we were a year ago. So all for it.
hey, I think if the
Yeah.
Bills proved it worked and it was an outdoor venue, I mean, the thing is though it's outdoor and now we're switching to indoor. So we don't know what this is gonna do. But if it worked there, I guess it works, you know, elsewhere.
The only problem with indoor compared to outdoor is you're a lot more compacted. So
Yeah. So
diseases can
masks are
go,
probably gonna be required the entire game.
well, yeah, for sure. Well, they already are for outdoor venue anyway. So no
Yeah.
matter what, you were gonna not get around it.
But
Um,
the
I don't know. I guess it's just I'd rather wait until the summertime to see what more and more things would have happened. Yes, it's a stepping stone. It means 10% can go to 25% to 50% to ultimately back to where we
well, they're
were.
saying that by July we could have enough, or we'll have most of the population vaccinated. So we'll see. I
Fingers crossed.
There's so much
Hopefully that can be the case.
there's so much that goes into this, and it's one thing to get the vaccines, it's another thing to distribute them. I don't want to get into the politics though, so
Right.
I'll just leave it at that. It's one thing and another thing. That's all I'll say. As far as for me, Watkins Glen is very intriguing now, but do I want to take a test to go to a venue? Absolutely not. I will gladly stick to watching them on TV.
Now, this is where I will disagree. If I can have that chance to test or take the test, go to a sporting event that I have not been able to go to in like 2 years or so, hell yeah, I would do it. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't mind it. I mean, I don't want to go into the politics of it. I ultimately had to take the test, so I had no problem with it. Yes,
which is what kind of ruined
taking
our
it,
Super Bowl special, but we'll leave
unfortunately.
it at that. But no, so I got to tell you now. So our plan was to do the Super Bowl. I at least was planning to do the Super Bowl special in person at a social distance, but it didn't work out. But it's okay. We'll figure out something down the road for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Who knows? Maybe when the season starts back up with football, we could do something like that. Now that'd
who
be
knows?
super
Maybe this summer when we do other specials, we'll see.
true.
But you know,
So
I agree with you, but I'll tell you my experience with the test was I hated the shit out of it, and I would not want to take it again. So I would
well,
rather wait to get the vaccine and be like, here you go.
right. See, now for me, for that situation, the one that hurt the most, or at least made me bring a tear to my eye, was rapid. Now that one, it goes up a little bit further.
Okay.
I know. I don't want to go far into it, but
We became
yes,
the political network today in one
no.
day.
See, I didn't
No.
want to go too far into it, but
You wanted to know how the COVID test went? That's going to be the title of the video now. No, it's not.
no, don't.
No, we're not going to dive in. But I guess we know Jason's answer, because that was going to be my next question. Would you attend an event if a test or vaccine proof was required? And I guess Jason kind of just said yes to that.
Well, I would see. Also, for me, I would feel better knowing that everybody was vaccinated and tested, because you can still take that test, it come negative, and then somehow a few days after
Yeah,
you're feeling symptoms. So I'd rather
it's
ultimately know that people are vaccinated. Hence why I'm saying I'd rather wait until we know for a fact that more people are vaccinated before we ultimately have sports
yeah.
back. But
See, I just
like I
want
said,
to
I
wait
don't
to
make the
get.
decision.
I just want to wait to get the vaccine myself. Speaking personally, I would rather wait for me to get it myself before going to a sporting event, because again, I would rather provide proof for that than go to an urgent care and be like, "Hey, I need a test
Right.
for the sporting event." And, so that's just my opinion. I would rather take a shot in the arm than a cotton swab up the nose. So,
Yeah, you know what? See, I
but
guess you're definitely not wrong there. But if I ultimately had to go and test, I think I would do it. Yeah, the only problem is you have to wait a few time, a few days after the fact. See, I don't know how that would even work, and I don't want to delve into this too deep. But I just don't
yeah.
know how it would actually ultimately work for indoor venues. So I of course
We'll
I never
see,
been to
but I
the
don't
two
think
Bills
it's
games.
I don't think it's going to impact the Sabres or the Islanders or the Rangers, and I'm sure Zach Carmine can verify it, but I'm pretty sure all NHL venues, regardless of state regulations, are not allowing fans. So,
I know some, and I know some basketball are allowing fans.
yeah, some basketball. I mean, it'll help the Knicks. It'll
Now,
maybe help the Amerks, but it's also owned by the Pagulas, and they may be more apt to follow state regulations or
right
league regulations compared to state regulations.
now,
Um,
I
Watkins
know
Glen will have fans.
we're still talking about New York State, but I know that the Dallas Mavericks have now started allowing some fans in the stands. So, like I said, it's a huge step forward than where we were a year when
Yeah,
we were first heading into
I think we're making
lockout.
progress. We're slowly but surely getting there. Um, have faith, guys. Have faith. We'll be back there soon.
Right.
That's all I
I
want to wrap it up with. But what were you gonna say?
Oh, I guess I just hope that I know this is a sports thing, but I guess I just hope that this means it's going to be boding well for concerts as well. I'm just fingers
Yeah,
crossed. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, and I know, and same here. But anyway, we're sorry we went a little political there, but I figured that story was good to add to finish up the podcast here today. I don't think we were as long as the last few episodes, so we want to thank you for watching. Again, our Daytona 500 special is up on YouTube. Check it out. Um, I think we did a pretty good job on that, and hope you guys enjoyed that. Happy Hallmark Day. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
call it
happy
Hallmark
Hallmark.
Day.
Happy giving money to Hallmark Day.
Yeah, I actually wrote that at work. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but hey,
Ah,
hey, it's alright.
it's worth
But here,
it.
I'll give y'all an air hug if you're single today, because you know what? We're all in the same boat. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it. It's a dumb holiday anyway, so don't worry about the real
Yes,
holiday is National Pizza Day. That
we'll give
happened.
you a social distance hug or
Enjoy a pizza.
social distance airbit.
Celebrate National Pizza Day a few days late. It's okay. You get the okay from SCN to do that. So,
Yes. And for all you NASCAR fans, have your beer, have your pizza, because it is the start of the NASCAR season.
yes, and we can't wait. It's 200 miles an hour, 200 laps. It's going to be fun. Jason, I won't ask for predictions here because you don't know any of the drivers, but I will just say thank you guys for watching. Check out SCN Unloaded as well. They've done a few nice pieces for the seal. I'm sure you'll want to check it out. I believe they're waiting to do one. They're waiting on Drew Brees' decision to make a video. And then the other one is going to be about the Minnesota Twins, I believe, coming up. So you won't want to miss that. Till then, guys, I guess. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, see ya.